Todd, Ryan Nemhart, Wazir Latif, Ryan Brooks, and Jazz Sanga. For Orangeville Prep, they're in the white. Shamar Rathan Mays, Julian Lepp, Matthew Alexander Moncrief, Joe Jones, and Ignas Brazdeikis, who recently, of course, just committed to Michigan.
Yes, the Michigan product, following in the footsteps of Nick Stauskas and a few other Canadian players that have graced the Wolverines. Still a little disappointed as an OSU fan, but you know, it is what it is.
I think he's going to look great in blue and yellow.
He would look better in gray and red.
Julian Lepp down low, gets it out to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis doubles, gets it out to Rathan Mays. He puts it up from the three. It's out of bounds, going to go back to Vaughn.
Excellent closeout there, and that was by number 5, Ryan Nemhart. He's going to be a guy that Coach Gimenopoulos is going to be looking forward to having for the next couple of years. Just a really, really talented player coming from a great basketball family.
Ryan Brooks. He's going to get a foul there. That one's going to go to Joe Jones, the first of the game.
Well, I mean, look at that pass, though. Right away, Ryan Brooks showing that he can do more than just fill up the bucket there. Creates the matchup, driving to the basket, and that's something we talked about, his physicality, his ability to get there. Now we'll see if he can continue.
Impressive, too, that he's obviously the 5 for this Vaughn team, but he's driving from the top of the three-point line. You don't see a lot of bigs able to ball handle that way.
No, especially not at this age and at this level. I mean, you're more used to seeing that kind of more at the professional level in college.
Here's Latif. Pulls up, gets it out to Brooks. He releases from the 3. It's just short. Offensive rebound goes to Nemhart. Senga now back up to Brooks. Brooks to Nemhart. Nemhart right back to Brooks. Goes up and under. The reverse on the left-hand side is good for the first 2 points of the game.
Right away, Kelsey, we're seeing a difference in this Vaughn team. Nobody's panicking beginning of the year, just gets the rebound, sets up the play, works the pick and roll to perfection, Nemhart and Brooks.
Rathan Mays over to Moncrief. Here's Brazdeikis now from the 3, releases that one just off the mark, and it's an easy rebound for Latif.
And Brazdeikis, you know, trying to find that rhythm right now.
A block by Joe Jones. We mentioned earlier, Ryan, he had 6 blocks in the last game. Give him 1 so far, a minute and 15 in.
Now, there's really nothing specifically remarkable about him as far as his height goes. At 6'10", we've seen a few 6'10" guys in this league, especially for AI, but his length, Kelsey.
And his IQ, when to jump and when to not jump.
Just overall athleticism in general is just, you know, the tail of the tape doesn't do him enough justice.
There's Brooks. Drives left. Pulls it back out now. They're going to reset Taryn Todd up top. Todd loses it, grabs it back. A nice spin move off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Moncrief.
They got to feel good about that, though. Here we go. There's a turnover.
Brooks gets it up to Todd. Todd goes up. There's an offensive foul there. Rathan Mays, great defense. Rathan Mays is, of course, the smallest guy on the floor right now, standing at 5'11". He's a 2020 grad, one of the smartest basketball players in this entire league.
And there's really no surprise if you look at the family around him, his brother, and just really, once again, this is something that Orangeville Prep has. They've got a lot of guys that come from basketball families and cultures, and really there's a lot of stuff that you'll see them put on the court that they learned in the driveway, not even in practice, just in the driveway playing against Big Brother.
And of course, if you're not a big NBA person right now, he's talking about Xavier Rathan Mays, who's in the NBA currently doing his thing out there as well.
That's right. Thank you, Kelsey.
Saunders gets on the floor, didn't make the start today, makes the immediate impact after he subbed in.
Saunders may be actually the top scorer by the end of the year here for Orangeville Prep. Do not be shocked if you see that on the stats line. He's done. He can do no wrong right now for this team.
I would agree with that, and he kind of brings that hustle and heart that you need on the floor. Here's Brooks from deep. Jones gets a hand up, but Brooks sinks it. Ryan, how many big guys are shooting from that far away?
He had a little bit of space there in between the three-point line and himself. You got to love it when your 5 is just chucking it up like that. And he got a little smirk to it, Jones, as he was walking back up the floor.
Matthew Alexander Moncrief gets his own rebound, goes up, blocked, and now it's Todd bringing it back the other way for Vaughn.
How about that, Kelsey? The smallest guy on the floor, or the second smallest, gets the block on Moncrief, a guy who's known to win a few dunk contests here and there.
Here's Nemhart up top. He chucks it up from the top. That one just off the back of the rim. Brazdeikis comes down with the board.
If you're Coach Gimenopoulos, you can't be too mad at these shots right now. They're getting open looks.
Brazdeikis into Jones and off the glass. Thought he was going for the dunk there, but puts it in. A little kiss off the glass, and it's good for 2 points. Ties it up now 5-5.
And that's one thing Brzdikis was so deadly at, bringing the ball up the floor on the fast pace. He could either have that little nasty Euro step to finish or pass it off to one of the big guys for a throwdown.
Last year we saw that he can score. There's no kind of ifs, ands, or buts. He averaged 30 points a game last year. This year we're seeing a different kind of Brzdikis, still scoring in the high 20s and the 30s, but getting a ton of assists now, really getting his teammates into the game.
And that's really what happens, though, when you figured out a way to get the basket, or when you figured out a way to be dominant as much as Brzdikis was last year. Defenses are going to watch that. Defenses are going to plan for that. So you have, as a player, you always have to be looking to try and evolve. Okay, now I figured out this move. Now I figured out the next move. As you look at the last game, he was playing 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. I mean,
more than his point guard.
Yeah,
more assists than his point guard.
And that's something he does well. Here it is on the fast break again.
He gets the steal, gets it up to Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Tries to hand it off to Keyshawn Saunders. Might have been one too many passes there, but if you're the head coach of Orangeville Prep, you're happy that your team is sharing the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
Or at least trying to.
that was one of those plays there. It looked like Brzdikis gave him the ball as if to the young Moncrief, going, hey, just throw it down, big man. I mean, you've been showing just how dominant he can be on the fast breaks right now. And, of course, we're talking about Moncrief this time, not Brzdikis. But the signals got crossed, but, that's what practice is for.
Brzdikis puts up the three, makes it look easy. The fadeaway in the corner brings the lead now 8-5 for Orangeville Prep.
And this is going to be a big possession for Vaughn now, Kelsey. They've really got to make sure they're keeping pace with this team and not let it get away from them too early.
Brooks, the crossover up top. Brzdikis goes for the steal. Leaves Nemhart wide open in the corner, and there's the answer.
What a find there. Absolutely fantastic find by Brooks, taking advantage of the double team on him. And Nembhard, that is what we talked about. When you come from those kind of families, you don't get worried.
No defense on the way back. A jam by Taryn Todd. Not one person gets back on defense for Orangeville Prep.
And look at this. We said this at the beginning, Vaughn, a new team here, and they're looking brand new, aren't they, Kelsey?
Yeah, they've got that fire and heart that you see in new people coming into the OSBA. Here's Rathan Mays over to Brzdikis. Puts it up in the corner. That one's good. Back to back for Ignas Brzdikis.
Now, if you're the defender on that one, and specifically if you're Thielen on that one, you just kind of have to let it go. That's just a tough shot that was made.
Up top, Alex Thielen off the mark. Rathan Mays pulls down that board. Brzdikis, can he go 3-4-3? That one just off the back rim. Keyshawn Saunders now with the steal. He's going to pull it out. 22 seconds on the shot clock. He gets it over to Rathan Mays, who swings it up to Brzdikis.
Like the defense, though. Don't give him a chance to set anything up.
Brzdikis pulls it back, beats his defender, goes up off the glass. No good. Joe Jones is there to clean it up.
And there's got to be a quick switch there. Brooks getting frustrated, but hey, if you take on Brzdikis, then that means Thielen, that's his job now to try and box out at the last minute there and prevent any finishes. Excellent D, but no recovery.
Nemhart picks up his dribble over to Thielen. He swings it now to Latif. Latif finds himself open. Keyshawn Saunders with the block, but there's going to be a foul called there on Saunders. It's going to be Wazir Latif at the charity stripe for 2.
And this Vaughn team working the pick and roll extremely well so far, Kelsey. They're finding ways to the basket, and when they're there, when they're getting to the basket, there's no hesitation whatsoever. They're going right to the rim. They're making sure that they're creating the separation, the defenders, but then, of course, that's going to be on Orangeville Prep as well. If they're recognizing that this pick and roll is happening, they have to be able to rotate a little bit quicker, and the bigs down low have to get up to the top of that half circle a little bit quicker to prevent these easy buckets or fouls at the line.
Substitutions in for both teams. For Orangeville Prep, it's Alanis Urbonis checking into the game, and for Vaughn, it is number 10, Quincy Akposi. It's an opener last week against Kings. They scored 98 points. They are, on par to score similar, if not more, in this game. So yeah, it's going to be, when you're playing Orangeville Prep, all about defense. We know that everyone here in the OSBA can put the ball in the hoop. That's why you're here. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the most, and even on top of that, Kelsey, I think the second most important thing is Brooks goes to the line now after getting fouled. And great to see that, though. You want to see Brooks getting involved and getting physical, because as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, as athletic as Orangeville Prep is, if Brooks can get in low there, he's going to get fouled every single time. He's just a bigger kid than these guys right now. But really, there was actually one other thing I wanted to bring up very quickly, was you have to be able to take care of the ball just as much on the offensive end. That's going to be on the guards like Nembhard, to make sure that there's not going to be any pick passes that are going to equal easy layups, because that is where Orangeville Prep eats the majority of their lunch, if you will.
Rebound there for Matthew Alexander Moncrief, and it's Sean Bartholomew coming into the game for the first time for the Bears. He hands off to Saunders, who comes off 2 screens, sets up on top, just off the back rim. Jazz Senga with the rebound. Here's Todd now up top, hands it off to Nemhard. Nemhard hands it over to Todd. Todd puts it up. The 3 is no good. Your bonus grabs the board.
I'm not mad at that shot. He's just got to knock it down.
Saunders with the pull-up. Just short. Joe Jones there to clean it up. I'm getting a flashback of James Karnick from last year.
Exactly, and that's something that, you know, Karnick was such a big loss for this team. Lost to the throws. You just wish they could stay 6 years, you know. But Jones.
Oh, then we would have Aaron Ray too. That little ray of sunshine. A nice spin move there by Brooks. Finger rolls it in from the corner. Beautiful move.
What composure there to finish, reassert himself, find out where the rim is, up and rolls it around. What a pretty finish in Brooks. Really becoming an early talking point in this league so far.
He's an early favorite.
He is.
Yeah, for sure. Here's your bonus up top. Hands off to Saunders, who comes off the screen. 8 seconds on the shot clock. It's Saunders. ISO goes to the left, gets it to Matthew Alexander Moncrief, who goes up for the jam. It's blocked, and that's going to be out of bounds. Orangeville ball. No, Vaughn ball. I didn't quite see what happened there.
You know what? The one thing that's kind of surprising here is, you know, that was a huge play for Vaughn just now. Taryn Todd, he's 6'3", going up against a guy he's given up about 4 or 5 inches to a guy who's known to throw it down hard. You know, your bench, you got to get up and you got to get excited for a play like that. There was almost no reaction from any of the players whatsoever.
They're all injured. They can't get up that quickly.
Well, here's hoping they all get better soon.
I like to see players on the ground. I like to see that hustle and heart that we don't see every single game. Right there, 3 players diving for a loose ball. I love that.
Vaughn's done an excellent job of that. Almost 2 minutes into this second quarter, Orangeville Prep only with 2 points, and that's a testament to Vaughn's stinginess on defense right now. Excellent work.
Bartholomew gets it out to your bonus. Your bonus drives, gets it to Joe Jones.
Take advantage.
Here's Taryn Todd now on the other end. Puts it up, a quick slam, and there's the bench, Ryan.
There you
exactly
go.
What you asked for. The bench gets right into it. Here's Bartholomew now again.
Todd showing Jones how it's done. You got to use 2 hands, big man.
Oh. Bartholomew once again up top. Gets it to your bonus. Over to Matthew Alexander Moncrief. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bartholomew comes off the screen from Jones. 4 seconds, has to put it up from the foul line. It's no good. A big rebound by Senga.
Bartholomew, you can see Saunders a little, oh, here we go.
Taryn Todd, another block by Joe Jones, just kind of skims his hand on it enough to get it off. Here's Matthew Alexander Moncrief, goes up and under. Beautiful bucket.
And there's those hops. There are very few players in the.
And you get to hear us. The highlight of anyone's day. Here's Nemhard up top, comes off the screen from Senga, gets it to the big man now up top. Right back over to Nemhard. Orangeville Prep showing a zone. Matthew Alexander Moncrief just standing straight up, and Brooks saying, no problem, I still got it, as it rolls in for 2 points.
Kelsey, how many players would freeze up in that situation when the hands are all the way up and goes, oh no, there's no way I'm going to get over him. Brooks, no thanks, I'm just going to use my body, get a little push up and in, thank you very much. He's already my favorite. He slowly became my favorite player so far.
Ignas Brezdikas opts for the 3. That one's no good. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Here's Todd. Sees the lane, drives, dishes it right into the hands of Rathan Mays. He goes up. That one just short. Bartholomew grabs the board, but it's knocked out of bounds. It looks like none of the refs really saw who that one was off of. Couple substitutions in for Vaughn.
And Taryn Todd, he's got to know better than anybody else on this floor. You cannot give up those transition buckets to Orangeville Prep. It doesn't matter that Shamar Rathan Mays was not able to convert that time. It's all about the other times where it would be a Brezdikas or a Moncrief or a Saunders that's running down the floor and is going to be able to just jam it right over somebody. You've got to be able to make sure you're taking care of the ball if you're one of the guards on this Vaughn Prep team.
The substitutions for Vaughn include number 12, Wazir Latif, and number 14, Caleb Attaway. And I want to talk about Attaway quickly as Brooks goes up for another one. He's going to go to the line. Attaway is in grade 9. He's a 2020 graduate, standing at 6'8". His older brother, goes to Pepperdine right now. So when we talk about those families that kind of have basketball in their genes, he's another one that we obviously haven't seen because he was in middle school last year. But a grade 9 addition to this Vaughn team, standing at 6'8".
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing you got to love, though, about schools like Vaughan Prep, because, of course, Vaughan Prep is a public school at a Vaughan Secondary School. Of course, the place where Andrew Wiggins played at in his 9th grade year. But, you know, what happens is when you're in a school like that, you have an opportunity to see some of these 9th grade guys. They get an opportunity to get exposed to a level like this, much unlike what you would see as Brazdeikis here. Great finish there. Sorry, Kelsey, I'm taking your shine a little bit. But really what we're saying real quickly is that those guys, they get an opportunity to play at such a high level here that they may otherwise may not have gotten with a place like AI Prep or a place like TRC Academy. So it's good to see those guys come in and get experience.
Big steal there for Matthew Alexander Moncrief. There's going to be a foul on the dribble, so no shot goes up. It's going to be Orangeville Prep ball on the sideline. 21 seconds on the shot clock, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first half.
What a treat so far. It's just been up and down. A lot of really solid basketball. You can see both of these teams have really put in the work to prepare for each other. And once again, I mean, this is going to be one of those things, though. Both teams kind of going through that adjustment period. Vaughan for the better. Orangeville Prep, we said at the beginning, though, this is a team that could be even more dangerous than last year because they have all of the main pieces back and a couple of really new, exciting players, too.
Saunders, the fadeaway, fades a little bit too much. That one's no good. Matthew Alexander getting hit down there. No call. On the other end, it's Nemhart now bringing it up. Gets it over to Brooks. Brooks, dangerous. The spin move again. Gets it to Latif. Foot on the line. That one's good for 2.
Latif, he's got to know where he is on the floor there because that would have been a huge three-pointer, make it a one-possession game.
Another long 2 from Julian Lepp. That one's no good. No one down to rebound yet. A real quick shot.
Yeah, that was something we're not used to seeing from Orangeville Prep. Just hurry up down the floor with one of the role players taking a shot.
Brooks dishes it out to Todd. Todd drives. There's going to be a foul on the drive, and it's going to be Vaughn ball on the sideline. A substitution in for Orangeville Prep is the young gun, Alanis Urbonus.
Now, if you're watching this game and you're just not even looking at the score right now, just pretend there was no scoreboard, you would say that Vaughan Prep is winning this quarter, very much so, because they just seem a little bit more coherent on their offensive runs. They're diving for the ball.
They are
on the
winning
floor.
the quarter, 7-6.
They are 7-6. Been doing a very, very consistent job of finding the pass inside and finishing inside, getting the fouls. Just seems like an interesting call to make at the time.
Brazdeikis gets it out to Matthew Alexander Moncrief. And from now on, I'm calling him M.A. Moncrief because his name is quite long. Keyshawn Saunders just off the mark. Moncrief goes up, gets the rebound, can't get it to go in, but will go to the charity stripe for 2.
And that's something, a little bit of a notice there. Last time around, Moncrief went up and tried to dunk it over a couple of defenders, and that ended up hurting this team. Well, not hurting the team, sorry. He just wasn't getting the calls. And this time around, now a little bit more controlled, both hands up, takes the contact, finishes, gets himself to the line.
I think maybe because we saw Moncrief play some big minutes last year, we forget that he's a 2020.
Yeah, it's incredible that when you think about the fact that he's only in grade 11 and he's already a bit of a veteran on this team. And he's also sized up. I mean, the difference in size between him right now, he's slowly filling out, and you can see in the way that he's throwing down the dunks nowadays with reckless abandon, whether it was the preseason tournament or whether it's been the first couple games this year.
You can tell how broad his shoulders are. He's going to fill out substantially in the next couple years.
Yeah, very, very talented athlete. See, that's the pass they got to steal. That's something that they would have had no problem last year.
Brooks does such a good job at getting his balance, 2 feet jump, going up, and not kind of losing control, looking for the foul. He's looking for the bucket when he's down low.
And that's what it is. On any given night, anyone can beat anyone in this league. And Vaughan, when they get opportunities like that, kudos to them. Because in this quarter specifically, they've taken full advantage of every misstep.
Brazdeikis goes right down the middle. I have too many good things to say about him.
That was too pretty. I mean, he completely shifted Todd on that crossover, and as soon as he saw daylight. And people forget, he's a lefty. So he wants to go left. And as soon as he sees that daylight, it's a bucket every time.
I asked him about that last year. You can check out the video, of course, on OSBA TV on YouTube. And he says, people think I want to go left all the time, but I'm just as comfortable going right.
He proved that, though, because it seems like he loves that floater. He loves finishing that little floater with his right hand, I've noticed, when he goes in. And that is hard to do. Anyone go outside on the basketball net and try and do that with your left hand, you'll see how difficult it is to master.
Here's Brazdeikis up top. Puts it up. I thought he was going to go for the pass on that one. He sinks the bucket, 38-33, just over 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's Nembhard now bringing it up. Guarded closely by Rathan Mays. A nice shot there by Taryn Todd over the long limbs of Moncrief.
Anyone else on this team, if you're Coach Gimenopoulos, you'd be a little nervous if that shot went up, but not Taryn Todd. He's been through the battles already in the OSBA. That's a kind of shot that he would live for. He knows how much little daylight he's going to get in this game.
Saunders goes up, gets it out to Rathan Mays, chucks it up from the three, and that one's good.
And there's Rathan Mays sticking out the tongue a little bit to Nembhard. We'll see if Nembhard has a response, though. Here's my favorite matchup.
Nembhard drives, dishes off to Todd. Todd goes up off the glass, and it's good over two white jerseys.
Todd is not necessarily a big guard, but my goodness, does he know how to use his body.
He's
what a
tough,
finish
yeah.
at the rim. Oh, yeah.
Here's Brezdikas, pulls up for the three. That one off the mark, Moncrief with the easy bucket, and Coach Gimenopoulos of Vaughan is going to take a substitute.
And that's the sort of thing that we're used to seeing seniors and guys a little bit older be able to accomplish, even guys at the college level. I know guys at the college level who don't have the composure to finish that bucket. Very impressive play so far from Brooks.
Here he is up top over to Nembhard. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. There's going to be a foul there on Rathan Mays.
Yeah, I think that was a fair foul. I mean, a little bit of contact as Nembhard was trying to make a move. And you can see Nembhard trying to create a little bit of separation there, and it just kind of looked like Rays bumped him a little bit when he was trying to create the said separation.
Rathan Mays goes for the steal. Leaves Nembhard open. Rathan Mays gets back there, though. Here's Taryn Todd. He redrives, loses it. Brooks now up top, 4 seconds, chucks it up from the three. That one is no good, and there's going to be a foul.
And there's going to be a foul on Todd. It looks like
trying to get Brezdikas out of the way while he's in the air.
Yeah.
That was kind of a weird call, only because Brezdikas jumped because he knew it was going to be an air ball.
Yep.
The player on Vaughan didn't jump because he's still looking at the basket going for the rebound, and as he swipes his hand away to get Brezdikas out of the way, Brezdikas, it's a little more obvious because it was an air ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, you know that Todd's got to be frustrated at that because he is really just doing a genuine basketball play. They're trying to get a guy out of the way.
If it hits the rim. Welcome back to the OSBA Game of the Week at half. It is 48-40, Orangeville Prep over Vaughan Prep. Wow.
Don't worry, Kelsey, you're not crazy. We do have Vaughan in the building.
No, I was actually going to say Vaughan Voyagers, and then I was like, no, let's just go. Okay, we're done. Brooks with the first shot of the second half. No good. Gets his own rebound, goes back up again. Looked like it was a clean block from here. Ref saying he got him on the head. That foul is going to go to Joe Jones. Yeah,
you know what? The best indicator is you got to watch the hair. If it goes all crazy when he goes up, then you know he got hit on the head. I think that's the best way to it's actually, you know what, it's almost ingenious in a way because you see a lot of the hairstyles nowadays is something similar to that, but they kind of leave out the dye. But now with the dye, you can see the difference when it gets hit.
What you're saying is that he dyed his hair to get more foul calls.
Absolutely, by any means necessary. You have to win by any means necessary. And Brooks is doing that right now. And of course, he's intelligent. I mean, his first name's Ryan, so.
Oh, stop. Shamar Rathan Mays from up top, 3 points to kick off the scoring for Athlete Institute.
And
I'm still laughing at you.
Rathan is almost Ryan, so that makes sense that he made that.
Okay, we're done here. I'm going to turn off these mics now. Bye, everyone. Here's Nembhard over to Todd. Todd gets it out to Brooks. Great idea, just off the mark for the pass, and it's out of bounds. Orangeville Prep ball on the side.
Now, here's the thing.
See, those names don't rhyme with Ryan.
No, they don't. They don't. But if we're taking a look at that move there, though, if you're Todd and you see that there's a lot of contact there, Brooks, when you see that, jump out. Make yourself a little bit more available and open for him so we can get that pass off instead of just leaning over and then looking disappointed.
Woo! Big block there by Todd. Joe Jones cleans it back up, though, puts that in for 2 points.
There we go, though. Don't look now, but there's a 12-point lead that's opened up for Orangeville Prep.
Latif puts it in on the left-hand side. What a move off the high glass.
Not many guys that size in this league can go up against Orangeville Prep's front court and finish like that. What a finish.
Brezdikas kicks it to Saunders. Saunders has some time to set up that one just off the mark. Big rebound by Moncrief. Gets it right back out to Saunders. Can he do it this time? That one, same, just off the mark. Here's Sanga now in the open court. It's a 2-on-2. Sanga, great call there by the referee. If you saw what happened there, Rathan Mays hit it out of bounds and then it kind of pinballed, no pun intended because Pinball Clemens is here. But it pinballed between the two players and then eventually went out of bounds off of Sanga's foot. So it is Orangeville Prep ball up top.
Sanga's got to recognize, he's got to get over to the guard. As soon as he sees that Rathan Mays is committed to him, you got to get rid of that ball right away. Or at the very least, go up with it with a Euro step and then lay it off. Don't try and dribble past him. You're not going to get it past the kid as quick as Rathan Mays.
Rathan Mays for the three. He's
a
2
bulldog.
for 2 now in the second half.
He's a bulldog. He's a defensive stalwart. You can't let him get away with shots like that. He lives to agitate.
I mean, that's why Orangeville Prep was so successful in that championship game that we just saw a quick video of it. Rathan Mays hits, I think, 5 threes.
Yeah. And that's saying something. Younger guy comes onto the team late in the year and just absolutely takes over the point guard position in the championship game and throughout most of the playoffs. I mean, he's a gamer.
Tough to take over the point guard position when you have Junior Farquhar, who's kind of set that standard on this Orangeville Prep team. We called him the triple-double machine before he got injured.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, once again, like, this is a guy that he's the best pound-for-pound player in the league right now. Now, that remains to be seen the rest of the year, but so far, I don't think I'm wrong when I say that.
Brooks, a nice pump fake, gets by his defender. That one, I'm going to give another block to Joe Jones there.
Yeah, and Brooks, you got to be able to recognize where you go in there, finish with the left hand, and there's Moncrief throwing it down, Kelsey.
Vaughn calls a timeout to stop this momentum. I mean, I'm assuming it's 58-43.
Against any of these teams in this league.
On top of that, Orangeville Prep just got to kind of almost relive their championship moment. They had the banner ceremony, of course, at halftime. They got to watch a video of all the highlights of that championship game. So, I mean, talk about feeling yourself. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Rathan Mays gets the steal. He gets it up to Keyshawn Saunders. Again, one of the deadliest players in the fast break. Saunders puts it off the glass on the right-hand side. So good at finishing with his inside hand, and he's going to go to the line for one more.
And that's something that Orangeville Prep, we talked about this in the first half. That's what they do best. They create the turnovers, they run down the floor, and they get easy buckets. And more often than not, they get the and ones because they're just so much more taller and athletic than their opponents most of the time.
But there are 3 big guys on the bench.
This is an opportunity for Vaughn to possibly make some noise here and finish this third quarter on a positive note.
But the other way, just to be devil's advocate, if you look at it the other way, look at the speed that Orangeville Prep has on the floor right now, and look at the bodies that Vaughn has, and there are 3 big guys on the floor. Yeah,
and if Orangeville Prep can continue to push the tempo the way that they have, Vaughn's not going to have anything in the tank on the defensive, or excuse me, on the offensive end to get anything really running to begin with. But I think that's more the reason why they should be giving the ball to Brooks here on this mismatch.
Brooks and Singa.
Yes.
Because who's guarding Singa right now? Julian Lett?
That's a good point.
Keyshawn Saunders pulls up for the long 2. That one's good.
Got to be able to guard those shots a little bit better. It's tough, though. Saunders, he's comfortable shooting anywhere with any hand in his face. That's just talent right there.
They've gone into a zone. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you need to.
Phelan tries to get it out to the big man. Here's Bartholomew. Puts it up. Doesn't have to be pretty. Everyone on the bench gets ready to get up, but a layup is worth the same. It's now a 30-point game, 77-47. 2.5 minutes left to go in the third.
Yeah, Vaughn, unfortunately, they're not taking advantage. Sanger would have had a great finish there at the rim if he was able to hold on to it. Now the inside passes are becoming a little bit more difficult here for Vaughn.
Latif goes up. Let's see who this foul is going to be on. That one's going to go to Keyshawn Saunders.
Yeah, and that's what you get, though, when you're going up against the zone defense. You have to be a little bit fearless and be more, a little bit more. What's the word? You just have to look to protect the ball a little bit better when you're attacking the rim like that. Something that's he did extremely well there at the line. That was Latif. And then Latif as well. He's going to try and see if he can work himself around to get some open looks from the three-point line. He's going to be a guy that needs to work in and out with Brooks and Sanga. There's still a lot of options on the floor here for Vaughn. They're just not executing.
Latif sinks it, 77-49, and it's Rathan Mays bringing it up for Orangeville Prep. Rathan Mays picks up the dribble, gets it over to your bonus, chucks it up from the three, and that one is good.
Excellent
what an
shot.
entrance he is making on this team so far in his first game with Orangeville Prep.
Yeah, no, that's a very impressive shot. The 10th grader getting it done there, just knocking the open shots, and that's what you hope to get from him when everyone else is focused on Brasdikis and Saunders.
Latif goes up, gets his own rebound, and cleans it up for himself. What athleticism to be able to jump up there, get your own rebound after you put it up, and clean it up without touching the floor.
And once again, Kelsey, you see the 29-point difference right now. You're starting to see Orangeville foot off the gas a little bit on the defensive boards. That's something we haven't even talked about in this game. Vaughn's done a great job of defending their glass and also taking advantage of offensive boards.
I'm not sure it's a lack of effort right now with Orangeville Prep on the defensive boards. I think it's lack of size. A beautiful finish there by Taryn Todd.
And also when you look at it, they are there. They got the hands up. We're also seeing some very impressive finishes from Vaughn. You can't take anything away from them on that.
Absolutely not. Taryn Todd squares his shoulders in the air there. That was absolutely beautiful.
He's done that 3 times in this game now.
Bartholomew out to Lep. Lep chucks it up, and that one's good.
There's Lep finally knocking it down. He's 1 for 4 behind the arc so far in this game. They're going to need a little bit of a better performance from him as the season goes on, though. He's going to be a guy they're going to lean on.
Brooks looking for the answer there. That one's no good. Knocked out of bounds by Bartholomew. It's going to be Vaughn Voyager's ball on the baseline. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 36.9 on the game clock.
Well, Vaughn, they got a second life here to see if they can maybe knock off one more possession, get a stop. There's the shot.
Quincy Akposi, no good. Keyshawn Saunders with the rebound.
I'm going to be fair to him right now. That was his first shot of the game.
He might be a little bit cold. Keyshawn Saunders puts it in on the other end. Great idea by Taryn Todd.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd trying to get the charge there. He knows how fast Saunders is when he attacks the floor, but Saunders, that footwork, my goodness, Kelsey.
Unmatched. My word for him of the day. Taryn Todd now up top. Over to Latif. He chucks it up from the three. It looked good from here. Big rebound by Brooks over your bonus and puts it in. I'd say he has 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, he does. And there's the shot, goes up and misses. And unfortunately, though, with that zone defense.
One is very good at kind of taking their games, internalizing them, and getting better. Their first game, they only scored 60 points. They came back in their next game and scored 80. So this is going to be kind of one of those learning experiences. And of course it's not done yet. Still 10 minutes of the game. We've seen bigger comebacks as Bartholomew puts it up from the three. But it is going to be something Vaughn, as a pretty young team, is going to look at and be able to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's not beyond them right now if they're consistent enough.
No, we've said that time and time again. We call the games over, and then boom, it's a comeback. Here's Rathan Mays over to Brasdikis. Brasdikis up to Bartholomew. Chucks it up. Can he go 2 for 2? Back to back for Sean Bartholomew.
I'm going to say a good goal for Vaughn right now is just try and see if you can get to 80. If you can get to 80 in a game like this after a very bad third quarter, I think that's a positive to build on for the next game.
And on the flip, if you're Orangeville, I want to keep them under 80.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say they want to keep them under 70.
I guess we'll see.
We will. we've got opportunities for a push for all of you there at home. It's one of those betting terms, a push.
Yeah. Tell us who you think is going to win this bet.
Yeah. Over under 75.
There's a comment section, right? Let us know.
Yes.
Show us in the chat. We want to hear your feedback. Rathan Mays misses that one. A big rebound for Quincy Akposi. Here's Brooks. Looks comfortable up there, chucks it up just off the mark. What a rebound by Bartholomew.
One thing Brooks has got to look on at that, catch that in rhythm and shoot it right away. Don't hesitate. Just go up there. If you think you can knock that down, big man, go up there and knock it down.
And he's shown that he can.
Yes.
Here's Joe Jones. The hook shot, no good. Taryn Todd now in the open court. Your bonus going to be called with a foul. No basket, though. And Taryn Todd is going to... No shot, of course, because the basket was no good. It's going to be Vaughn ball on the baseline. Matthew Alexander Moncrief subs in for your bonus.
I'm sure Coach Simonopoulos, he ain't happy with that call, and neither is Todd. But, that was a 50-50 call. That could have easily went either way, so I'm not really too mad at that one. Clearly the contact was on the ground. Clearly you took another step after the whistle and then finished.
He took a dribble. That's what it was.
Exactly,
you're allowed to take your steps if you've collected the ball, but he took one more dribble after that to get around the body, and then he collected it and took his steps. Oh, excuse me, the ball's going to be on the sideline. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Latif up top. Gets it over to Brooks. Brooks going to take on Ignas Brezdikas. He goes up, that one no good. He had 2 men on him that time in Brezdikas and Jones. Here's Brezdikas now, goes
great
up.
D, what a strip.
Great strip by Taryn Todd. Taryn Todd has done that a few times now. He's got great hands.
He's, I mean, he's gotten blocks on guys that are 3, 4, 5, 6 inches taller than him. He's been hustling on the floor, as we said in the first half, getting all, he's everywhere right now. Very, very impressive showing by Todd.
He's a 2020.
Yeah, I mean, once again, a young team.
A big 3 there by Wazir Latif.
And there's another guy that we've seen, one of the younger guys new to this team, Latif. He's had about 3 or 4 threes now.
Brezdikas has some time to set up, and when you give him time, you give him space, you're giving him 3 points.
Yeah, you can't do that ever on a guy like Brezdikas. I don't care if it's 7:30 to go in the 4th quarter or if it's 5 minutes into the first one. You can't give him open shots. Period.
Latif goes up. That one's no good. Now Ryan, they're sitting at 94 right now. In their first game in the OSBA, they hit 98. Are they getting more this game?
I'd say if they don't get at least 105, Coach Johnson's going to be upset.
Well, we don't want that.
No, he's a very, he's the kind of guy. It's fascinating watching this because, it doesn't matter how high up Orangeville Prep is or how low down they are. He keeps coaching. He's still telling his guys every single possession, every single play, hey, you did this right, or you did this wrong, or I don't want to see that again, or next time try and think about doing that. He's always coaching, is what I'm trying to say. So, and you know what though? That's the expectation that comes with winning. You have to continue to be there.
5
engaged.
fouls on Taryn Todd. He's going to make his way to, or is it 5 fouls? He's limping. I think they're saying 5 fouls on Taryn Todd as Sean Barthélemy takes his spot on the free throw line.
I think Todd should keep his head high after this one. I mean, it was a
he played great.
He played a great game. I mean, you know you're in for a battle when you come up to Orangeville. Doesn't matter which team you're playing, AI Prep or Orangeville Prep. They usually go